1, 2, 3, now. Ooh, that's good. You do got that fishing affliction. Woo! Boy, don't get no better that first thing in the morning. Woo!
How big is this fish? How big is that?
Oh, God, what a monster. An absolute monster. Woo! Man, that fires me up. You know what?
Big dog, it's time to wet a line, because it's Fishin' Affliction time for those who've got it bad. Well, mom and dad's grabbed the kids, it's time for the fishing show. Me and the big dog's gonna go catch them down at the fishing hole. Well, you better stick around, cause you don't know what you're missing. Yeah, me and the big dog's got that fishing affliction. Grab your hats, grab your baits, don't forget your poles. We're gonna fire up that old Ranger boat and head to the fishing hole. We're gonna try to catch a biggin', yeah, that's what we're wishing. Cause me and the big dog's got that fishing affliction. Yeah, me and the big dog's got that fishing affliction. Yeah. Yeah, and we've got it bad.
I've got that fishing affliction.
Hey, I'm Art Defo, and I've got that fishing affliction.
Hi, I'm Denny Brower, and I've got that fishing affliction.
Hey, I'm Mark Menendez, and I've got that fishing affliction.
I'm Bobby Lane, and I got that fishing affliction. Hi, I'm Chris Lane, and I got that fishing affliction.
I'm Shaw Grigsby, and I got that fishing affliction.
Just like me. Here, fishy, fishy, here, fishy, fishy, here.
Strike King Sexy Shad.
That is awesome.
Trailer hook.
Look at that.
Basically, right when it hit the water, he nailed it.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Well, folks, it's time to wet a line because it's Fishin' Affliction time, and welcome into today's episode as we feature part 1 of Lee Means Business. Fun fishing with the Wigwam rep, Lee Means. And Lee is a whole bunch of fun. He's got an inspirational story that you'll enjoy, and we're going to be catching a whole bunch of fish. Today's Fishin' Affliction product spotlight, you guessed it, is on Wigwam Socks. Can't get enough Fishin' Affliction TV? Then be sure to subscribe to us there at our YouTube channel and our brand new Vimeo channel. Be sure to like our ever popular and growing Facebook page, and at the end of the show, you'll meet the Fishin' Affliction Facebook Friend of the Week. So sit back and enjoy part 1 as we do some fun fishing with the Wigwam Sock rep, Lee Means. And folks, Lee means business, right here on Fishin' Affliction TV. Well, folks, there's no doubt that some things in life, well, they just are designed to happen without you knowing that it's going to happen. And one of my favorite things to do is to take the opportunity to spend time with people that I don't even know, because that's how you get to know somebody. And what better way to spend some time with somebody than to do some fishing? And folks, Fishin' Affliction TV, well, we've been blessed to have a lot of fans that watch this show all over the place and for different reasons. But in the situation that you're going to hear about today with Mr. Lee Means, it was a life-threatening medical situation that, in a way, put us together, along with his pursuit to find out what the big dog was still up to. Folks, we're going to get into this incredible story a little later on, but right now I'm digging around for that Strike King hat so we can officially meet Mr. Lee Means. And folks, Lee means business.
This is me getting official. There we go.
It's not every day that you get to fish with somebody that you met for the very first time, and that's exactly what has happened today. Lee Means with the Wigwam Socks, all the way up from Alabama via Salt Lake City. You've been all over the place, man.
Oh man, all out west for the last 2 weeks. Good to be back down in the dirty.
I want to tell you something. Lee loves the outdoors. He's got a great passion for life, an incredible story that we're going to talk about a little bit later, which will make you understand why this man loves every second of the day that he's blessed to have. Up here today at Vanderbilt for a checkup on that heart that's just a ticking away, just as good as ever. Got a good report today?
Good to go.
Awesome, man. We got 8 more years on the battery?
9 more years.
9 more years. We'll tell you all about that later. It's an incredible story. But you know, we're on Old Hickory Lake today, and Lee and I were going to get out a little bit earlier, but we've had some severe rain come through, and it's not every day that you get to fish the same day that you have flash flood conditions. And in this little pocket, it is rolling. Matter of fact, I just took some video there just a few minutes ago just to show you how bad that, how much that creek is moving, along with the wildlife. Everything's just alive out here, Lee. It's just beautiful, isn't it?
Yep, storm came through, it's cleared up a little bit. Hopefully we'll catch some fish.
We're gonna try to fish in the grass. You know, those herons, they're not living there just because it's cool to be there, you know. That's a food source for them. Bass with this type of condition sometimes will move in, sometimes they'll move out. But let's see what we can find today on the adventures of the day of Fishin' Affliction TV. We've got it bad.
We've got it bad.
That's it, bro. Let's do it. Couple casts, Strike King Series 5. You've got a 4 on. Woo! I want to tell you too, these hooks are sharp, and when you stick them into your hand, they are really sharp. Beautiful fish. There should be about 1 million of these in here. That is a white bass. And you know something that happens every once in a while, but people don't realize that sometimes their fins will actually get up into their gills. You see that right there? Always make sure whenever you have your fish to help them out a little bit, because that can be an issue for any fish, because that is not how God created that fish. All right.
Nice sized little white bass.
Not too bad, huh?
Yeah.
All right, brother, I'm gonna do some surgery on him and me since I stuck it really good in my finger. Why don't you go get you one? Stripermonium, isn't it?
Yeah, we're on them right now.
I tell you what though, it's real specific, isn't it? It's like this one little spot. And man, there's just bait everywhere. Look at the size of that one, Lee. Isn't that pretty?
That's a good looking one.
He is beautiful, isn't he? Golly, and he just inhaled. He just inhaled that Strike King. We're throwing, Lee had a Strike King Series 4 on, and we just now put a 5 on. He's not made a cast with that yet. He's got a big red eye he's throwing. And that's a Series 5 Sexy Shad. But folks, that is a beautiful, beautiful fish. Just beautiful. Man, there's just a ton of bait back here, Lee, and man, we got all kinds of activity, don't we? Beautiful time to be out here. It's hard to believe that it's June, isn't it? It's just awesome, brother. Awesome. All right, man, back at it. Get him, Lee. Strike King Series 5 right there, buddy. How about that, huh?
There he is.
Man, we were just saying how things change in just such a short amount of time. You know, their position of the fish are just a little bit different, isn't it?
Yep.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, so they were on a feeding frenzy earlier, and they've kind of dispersed a little bit now, and so.
How much fun, though, huh?
Oh, yeah. Always fun.
Strike King Series 5, brother. All right, go get you another one.
Nice.
Man, what's going on here? A little on fire in the back of the boat, huh?
Oh, look, there's one right behind.
Isn't that something?
One was just right behind.
That's cool. Nothing like getting to schooling fish, but you know what? Especially on a beautiful, beautiful day where the weather has kept most of the people off the water, Strike King Series 5 strikes again.
Boom, there it is.
There it is, brother. Go get you another one. And there was another one following.
Another one right behind it.
Go get him. Go get him.
Well, folks, as you can see, Lee means business when it comes to catching those fish, and we're having a whole bunch of fun fishing with the Wigwam Rep, and in a moment we'll be right back there in the wilds of Fishin' Affliction TV with some more fishing action. But right now, folks, here's a little something different from In the Wild as we pay tribute to Mr. Jerry Patterson.
In the Wild, your pictures in the wild.
Well, folks, today's In the Wild pictures are a tribute to Mr. Jerry Patterson, who went on to be with the Lord July 16th, 2014. Friends Dennis Shipp, Gerald Barnes, Tony Estes, and Bill Stidham, along with Don Burr, all who fished with Jerry over the years, estimated that he caught and released over 50,000 fish of all species, but mostly crappie, and judging by these pictures, Mr. Jerry Patterson could flat catch them. Way back in 1953, Jerry's father, George Patterson of Waverly, Tennessee, took his 3 boys, Jerry, who was 13, Jim, who was 12, and Mike, who was 9, bank fishing. And folks, his father ignited a spark in Jerry that would turn into a flame that made Jerry a full-blown afflicted fisherman by the time he was an adult. Jerry loved fishing so much that he usually took a rod and reel wherever he went just in case an opportunity arose to fish a pond, creek, river, or nearby lake. For the last 20 years, Jerry kept a fishing log that recorded all the weather conditions, the lake conditions, whoever was fishing with him, and the number and species of fish caught. Valuable fishing information that he would gladly share with such friends as Todd St. John of the TWRA or Mark Travis, a local fishing guide.
Jerry was an ideal fishing partner, always willing to share lures and advice and give a mess of fish to whoever fished with him. He seldom ever kept any, but occasionally would take some crappie home to his wife Janice, who loved to prepare a fish fry with all the appropriate side dishes. Jerry was an active member of the Percy Priest Sport Fishing Club, having joined the club in 1973, and one of his favorite things to do was instruct young, inexperienced kids on fishing techniques at the kids' tournament sponsored by the club. Jerry was a friendly and gentle soul who used the opportunity to fish as valuable time to spend with both family and friends while enjoying God's beautiful outdoors. We here at Fishin' Affliction send our prayers to Jerry's family and dedicate this show to his memory.
You're the rookie. This is your moment.
Market 15 pounds, 10 ounces, steel champions this year. Kentucky Lane Strike King.
When you tie on a bait by Strike King.
Hey man, we got your back.
You're standing on the shoulders of legends.
Smyrna Ready Mix is an established company that handles business daily with integrity and professionalism. Whether you're a general contractor, professional builder, or a do-it-yourself homeowner, SRM has your concrete solutions. With several convenient locations in the Middle Tennessee area to serve you, the only call you need to make is to SRM, ready to serve you with integrity and professionalism.
Fishin' Affliction's Facebook page. Like it.
Man, what's going on here? A little on fire in the back of the boat, huh?
Oh, look, there's one right behind.
Isn't that something?
One was just right behind.
That's cool. Nothing like getting to schooling fish, but you know what? Especially on a beautiful, beautiful day where the weather has kept most of the people off the water. Strike King Series 5 strikes again.
Boom, there it is.
There it is, brother. Go get you another one. And there was another one following.
Another one right behind it.
Go get him. Go get him. Lee, he's not a whopper. We like to refer to these as a future movie star, Fishin' Affliction TV. But man, the fun. And I'm gonna tell you something, look at that. Lee, look how he just annihilated that bait in the bottom lip. I mean, just annihilated it. My gosh. Beautiful, beautiful. You know, it's funny when weather conditions change and you have the opportunity to get out on the water. You know, it's not every day that you get to experience a storm like that and then get right out afterward. And it's just absolutely beautiful out here. As soon as Lee and I get out here, folks, you could just see things were active. Deer walking on the shoreline, birds feeding, just really neat. You could just see that things were just about to happen. Got out on the water and the bait was moving, and now in a very short window sometimes your bite's only going to be 10-15 minutes, and if you can be in the right place in those 10-15 minutes, you can get some bites. They're up here, they're going to stay here. There's no reason for them to go. It's just, will they eat? One of the things that you can sure count on is that your Strike King bait will perform, but you've got to make it perform. One of the things that we're trying to do is varying our speeds, going a little bit faster, a little bit slower. Lee's using he's got really light line on there. He's got 6-pound test. I'm using 12. So our baits are acting a little bit different, and Lee's getting a feel for his. Just trying to find that little magic touch to make these fish gobble on them. But when they hit them, they let you know it. Lee, this is a mistake fish. Let me tell you why. I was actually watching some dogs running in the yard, and I wasn't paying attention. I paused the bait, and as soon as I paused it, it floated up, and the fish annihilated it. And just a second ago, you and I saw a bunch of fish on these Lowrance electronics under the boat, so we pushed off. One of the things that we're going to try to do, number one, aside from making the obvious observation, is try to figure out how to fish these fish that you're seeing under the boat. Remember, if you're seeing stuff that's down under the boat, it's hard to get your bait there if you're casting it 50 or 60 feet that way. We made a quick loop. By accident, I let the bait float up, caught another little one. Hey, maybe there's about 1,000 more of those things. When you get good at throwing those, or when I say get good at it, when you get to feeling how the bait's working, then that'll allow you to realize that you can actually work a crankbait just with unbelievable precision. Yeah. And matter of fact, you know, normally when you throw a bait like these are designed to fold the hooks back. You know, so the nose leads first, so those hooks are actually out. So when,
so you can bump up
you can bump and do whatever, yeah. One of the other things that you might be able to do too
You figure if you take your rod, there he is, right there on the paws, right on the paws, huh?
Right on the paws.
Right on the paws.
He's a little bit nicer fish,
He is
too.
a nicer fish. Isn't that funny?
Yep.
Be careful, bro. Be careful.
He's a nice lighter color, too. Huh?
Isn't he pretty? How about that? Just right on the paws. Need the pliers?
Yeah, I might need the
I got you one right here, bro. I got this Fragrant pliers. Well, folks, while Lee is getting this fish unhooked, let's talk about the Fishin' Affliction gear list that we're using today. The Strike King baits that we're using primarily will be the Strike King Series 5 crankbait using a fast retrieve. The high-performance rod and reel combination made by Akuma is perfect for throwing these Strike King crankbaits. Those Akuma reels are spooled up with Seagar's 12-pound test in Vizex fluorocarbon, and those Strike King baits are tricked out with Mustad KVD treble hooks. And throughout the course of the day, we'll be using Reel Magic by Blakemore, the best line conditioner on the market. And that's our Fishin' Affliction gear list that means business, just like Lee means business. Little surgery later, and there he is, huh?
Boom.
A lot of times when you're catching these schooling fish too, Lee, they're the other fish that are in competition with the fish that's got the bait, they're pushing out. So one of the things we'll pay attention to is our boat position. How's that Strike King Series 5 working?
Boom, now that Dan got his line out of the water, I'm able to catch a few.
Well, folks, we're having a whole bunch of fun doing some fun fishing with Lee Means of Wigwam Socks. And when we return, we're going to share a little bit of why Lee always has a smile on his face and an extreme appreciation and zest for life. And also when we return, it's time to get ready for deer season, as our For Hunters Only segment will show you how to make that ever-important licking branch designed to attract that monster buck using those Paul Pollock deer scents that you can get there at Poindexter's Outdoors in Gallatin, Tennessee. All of that when we return, but right now let's head upstairs to the kitchen to see what Miss Vicki Porter's got cooking this week. In the Skillet with Miss Vicki, the most delicious part of Fishin' Affliction TV.
Welcome to In the Skillet. I'm Vicki Porter, and a few weeks ago when I was up cooking with my mom, she gave me a zucchini out of her garden, and today I have a delicious recipe for you for baked zucchini. And now for the ingredients. You will need zucchini, butter, olive oil, oregano, Parmesan cheese, salt, and pepper. After melting your butter in the microwave, let's add in our olive oil and our oregano. Now let's add our zucchini and mix this together. Make sure it gets evenly coated. After coating your baking sheet with cooking spray, add your zucchini in a single layer. Now sprinkle on your Parmesan cheese, season with salt and pepper, and then bake this on 350 for about 35 minutes. After baking this zucchini for about 35 minutes, you're ready to sit down and enjoy. You can find this recipe at intheskillet.com, and be sure and click on the YouTube icon to see this recipe as well as all of my other delicious In the Skillets. I'm Vicki Porter. Tune in next time to see what's cooking in the skillet.
S11 sunglasses makes it like the water is not even there.
All right, August has come to an end, and that means dove season is about to start because it begins on September the 1st. This year, that happens to be Labor Day, and I hope that's good news for you because a lot of times folks have to work on the opening of dove season. Maybe not this year. Look, the season's going to open at noon the first day on September the 1st all across the state. After that, it opens a half hour before sunrise and goes to sunset. If you don't have a field to hunt yet, go to tnwildlife.org, and you can find all kinds of wildlife management areas where TWA will have hunting fields, and you can also find a lot of leased fields. Some private landowners will open their fields on this day, lease them to TWRA, and we open them to hunters, and those are listed out on the website. Remember, the daily bag limit for doves is 15 a day, 15 a day, and there's 3 segments of the season. You need to look in the guide to see when the first segment ends, and then there'll be a couple more segments of that, but nothing more exciting than the opening day of dove season across Tennessee. Get outside, have a good time, and don't forget to get you the new hunting guide before you get out. Make sure you know all the rules and regulations of hunting in Tennessee. I'll see you next week right here on Fishin' Affliction.
Well, folks, your socks are your most overlooked item of clothing that you decide to put on your body. And when you do decide to put some socks on, you need to put on some wigwams. One of the neat things about Wigwam Socks, folks, that you need to know is that everything from the material that the socks are made to even the packaging is made here in the good old USA. A very rare thing in today's world, isn't it? And folks, they are the performance sock company for a reason. They make an outstanding product for not just the wintertime, which we more associate using our socks for, don't we? Trying to keep our feet warm in the wintertime with these great Wigwam socks, well, that's an easy choice. But what do you do when those hot days of summer are here? Folks, for fishing, these are my favorite ones. From biking to running, any of these socks that you can put on your body from Wigwam are going to be a great fit for you and the activities that you choose to do. Check them out at wigwam.com and you'll be impressed with the Performance Sock Company and their outstanding products. And now back to Fishin' Affliction. Welcome back to Fishin' Affliction TV, and this segment of the show is brought to you by Ranger Boats, Mercury Outboards, Deca Batteries, Akuma High Performance Fishing Gear, Seagar Fishing Line, Mustad Hooks, Onyx Life Jackets and Rainwear, Fraybill, Real Magic, Rugged Marine Electronic Mounts by Ram Mounts, Wigwam Socks, BBG Marine, and Tournament Wear.
For hunters only, brought to you by Poindexter's Outdoors in Gallatin, Tennessee, serving the sportsman since 1965, and PaulPollocksDeerLures.com, producing the greatest selection of all-natural buck and doe deer lures on today's market.
August the 14th. Bobby Allen, Mr. Robert Allen, myself, down at the beautiful Allen Farm here in Hickman County. Mr. Allen is getting on the plow. Gonna plow up all that right there. Well, folks, as all of us deer hunters know, it's never too early to start getting ready for the upcoming deer season. And no one knows it better than Mr. Robert Allen and his son Bobby Allen as they hook up the plow and start turning that rich Tennessee soil in preparation for a luscious food plot for those deer. And as they are doing the hard work, I'm going to walk deep into those beautiful Tennessee woods and get a few of those Paul Pollock deer scents in place so they can start working their magic for the upcoming deer season. As Mr. Allen and Bobby Allen are doing the hard work plowing, I'm going to be setting up a licking branch. And as I'm doing it, I'm going to be telling you what a licking branch is all about and those Paul Pollock scents to use while making this licking branch. Awesome. Well, folks, the licking branch is one of the most important and most overlooked elements of any type of deer scent setup. And how important is the licking branch? Well, if it's not present in any type of scent setup, then a mature buck deer will not frequent the setup. Now, folks, that's serious. Now, the licking branch is a branch that a buck uses to rub his head and his face on. This preorbital area of the deer's head has 5 glands that are leaving scent markers on the branch as the deer is rubbing. And Mr. Paul Pollock's preorbital buck scent lure has all 5 of those glands perfectly blended and ready for you to start making your licking branch setup. And here's a Paul Pollock pro tip for you. Before entering the woods to where your destination point is to make your setup, be sure to apply a liberal amount of Paul Pollock's October Cover Mist, a masking spray made of plant, leaf, and earth scents. And folks, it absolutely covers your human odor.
And when you're making your licking branch setup, don't forget to use your latex gloves. Now, a licking branch should be about the size of your thumb and about 5 to 6 foot in height. And what you want to do is you want to snap off the ends of the branches that will imitate a deer chewing the end of those branches. Once you've got that all in place, it's time to apply Paul Pollock's pre-orbital scent gland smells.
Okay, now that I've got my licking branch prepped, it is time to apply Paul Pollock's buck pre-orbital gland smells. And that's really going to set this off. Now that we've got our licking branch all doctored up with Paul Pollock's pre-orbital, it's time to doctor up the ground a little bit with some buck interdigital gland smell. Now that interdigital gland is the gland that's located right between the buck's hooves, and every time he walks, he's leaving that smell. So obviously, if he's coming to his licking branch, he's leaving his imprint, isn't he? So we're just gonna make a little scrape and put a little bit of that buck interdigital there, and we will be ready to go. Well, folks, as you can see, it's never too early to get ready for deer season, is it? And it's never too early to start using those Paul Pollock deer scents. Absolutely the best deer lures on the market. As deer season goes on, I'll be adding some different Paul Pollock scents: Doe Tarsal Plus, Buck Tarsal Plus, Doe and Heat, Mystic Intrigue, all kinds of different lures that Mr. Paul Pollock has. They are going to be exactly what I'm going to be relying on to doctor this scrape up and this setup with the licking branch throughout the course of the entire hunting season. Head on over to Poindexter's Outdoors there in Gallatin, Tennessee, and get you some, and good luck hunting.
Well, folks, when we started this episode, I told you there were some inspirational things I wanted to share with you about Lee Means, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Several years back, Lee, being a healthy young man, a professional rock climber, and an overall enthusiast of God's great outdoors, came down with a life-threatening condition. A virus attacked his heart, and Lee ended up at Vanderbilt Medical Center here in Nashville, Tennessee, receiving the appropriate treatment and even getting a pacemaker installed to help his condition. Now, folks, Lee's road to recovery was not overnight. It has taken several years and countless doctor visits to ensure Lee's full recovery. And it was during this recovery time that Lee, being a fan of Rusty Rust from a previous show, began looking for the big dog to find out what he was up to. And that's when he came across Fishin' Affliction. And through the miracle of the internet, Lee reached out to us, told us who he was, what he had been through, and how much he enjoyed Fishin' Affliction TV, which then led to he and I getting together for the very first time. And this footage is from that exact day that we met each other and went on the water the very first time. And folks, he is an absolute inspiration to be around. We've been able to do this a time or two, and every time we're together, Lee means business, and his business is all about enjoying life to the fullest, and most importantly, enjoying God's blessings. And folks, that's the lesson here for all of us. Lee sure understands the importance of taking each and every opportunity to enjoy time as he should. And one of his favorite ways to spend time is doing some fun fishing. And on next week's episode, the big dog's gonna jump in the boat. We're gonna head on down to Guntersville, Alabama with Lee Means to try to catch those big bass in the big grass, having a whole bunch of fun fishing the legendary Lake Guntersville. Thank you for joining us here on Fishin' Affliction TV this week, and tune in next week and you'll see.
All right, big dog, tell us all about it.
Well, here's our best.
This week's Team Fishin' Affliction featured Facebook friend is
Matt Stark.
And thanks for being our Facebook friend. For your chance to join in the fun and become an official Team Fishin' Affliction featured Facebook friend, simply like us on Facebook. And be sure to write a comment on our wall. As always, a big thank you to all of our national and local sponsors for providing us with the most advanced technology and highest quality products and services. Be sure to visit each of our partners online through the sponsor links page on our official website at FishinAffliction.com. And this is your old pal Matthew Gillen, the voice of Fishin' Affliction TV, hoping that you'll tune in next week, because there's no doubt that Dan and the big dog got it bad. They've got Fishin' Affliction for those who got it bad.
crappie right
Bro, you got it in the boat quicker than I could get the camera over. That is a slab crappie.
Slab crappie.
On what is that? A tournament grade
Strike King Sexy Shad.
That is awesome.
Trailer hook.
Look at that.
Basically, right when it hit the water, he nailed it.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
All right, let's do another Facebook picture, man. That is awesome, man. That's cool. Hold on. That's cool.